I'm going a little nuts.
For why?
For why?
For why?
Well, that sounds like something Janice from the Muppets would say. For why?
For why? What's wrong?
For sure. Okay. Yeah, I love Janice. Hello, and welcome back to the Rewatch Recap, where we recap shows for nostalgia and pure amusement. I'm Dustin, and I'm here again with my good friend Kay. Hey, Kay.
Hey, Dustin. It doesn't rhyme.
Hey, Dustin.
Hey, Dustin.
In a melody, it would have been like that flat note that I was, anyway. Like, hey. Okay. We're Giggles here on the Rewatch Recap today because we had long days, so I'm a little, yeah, whatever.
Punch
yeah.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, something like that. Something, I don't know. But this week, we are once again delving into Season 2 of Dead Like Me, Episode 3, actually. But, oh, by the way, fun fact, Christine Willis, who plays Dolores Herbig,
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing something in her recently, and when I looked her up on IMDb, I was like, oh, that's right. She was recently in the first season of the new Goosebumps.
Oh, okay.
Which is also on Disney Plus. And she was like a fortune teller or something. And so if anybody's listening or watching that wants to watch that episode, it was the episode titled Night of the Living Dummy. So that was, check that out. And
Dolores
you'll see her on there.
Herbig.
As in her Goosebumps. Okay.
Yeah.
her
lovely lady Goosebumps.
Oh, Lordy.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so now let's go on into Dead Like Me, Episode 3, titled Ghost Story. I might want to add that this episode also it aired originally on August 8th, 2004. So, woohoo. Yeah. Okay. Previously on Dead Like Me, George is back to questioning her afterlife, including stalking her family.
Yeah,
again.
Always.
She's still stalking.
Mm-hmm.
Her parents, Joy and Clancy, are officially in the middle of a bitter divorce. And of course, Reggie's in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel bad for her. I hate that.
I know.
Roxy is now a cop.
Yep.
And Mason tried to go clean and sober, and he couldn't do it. So now he's doing all the drugs and drinking and all his schemes and whatnot all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And Daisy seems to be getting a little deeper than she used to be.
Yeah.
You know, she has that necklace. She seems to be like, I don't know, looking into spirituality or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Looking for some purpose and meaning other than I was an actress.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And now, Dead Like Me opening. Take it away, Kay. It's George.
It's George.
Okay. And we open up on a storybook. And George says, once upon a time, there was a traveler on horseback who finds himself facing a swamp, and he doesn't know whether to go around or try to wade through. Then we move over to Happy Time, and George arrives for work. The traveler asks a local boy, tell me, local boy, does the swamp have a hard bottom? And the boy tells him that it does. So the traveler guides his horse into the swamp, and they begin to sink deeper and deeper into the muck. He shouts to the boy, I thought you said it had a hard bottom. And the boy says, it does, Mr. Traveler. You're just not there yet.
Ooh. That's some evil, man.
That's a horrible, like, come on. Really?
Mm-hmm.
No, tell me. Well, it does. You're just not at the bottom. Like, well, it's deep. You should. Like, it's a really deep muck.
Yeah.
That's basically what the moral
He
of the story.
asked the wrong question. It's the problem.
Yeah. How deep is the muck?
Yeah. Not does it have a hard bottom?
That
Yes,
sounds
I
so
do.
gay.
Thank
It
you.
really does.
Thank you.
Who doesn't like a
do.
hard bottom?
Hey.
Okay. So, Dolores shows up at Millie's desk and brings her a whole stack of, I guess, applications for her to go through because she's interviewing people now for temp positions, which she is clearly not ready for and not wanting to be ready for. Dolores wants to know, like, why haven't you signed up for the company retreat, the annual retreat? You know, I mean, the sign-up sheet is clearly posted on the microwave.
How could you possibly not have?
It's on the microwave. Everybody sees the microwave. George doesn't want anything to do with the happy time freaks, and who can blame her? I mean, if you look at the going away party they had for her last year,
Yeah.
the crap that went on there, it's like, maybe I don't want to like spend the night with these people.
Yeah.
Just a little. And then not to mention that she watches like some kind of slap happen, like from across the room.
Yeah, I think he like goosed the woman or something, and she.
Well, he was doing like this to
or...
her. He was like waving his hands in front of her face, and then she slapped him, and I was like, "What was happening?" I was very confused.
That was the 90s, man. No, 2000s.
It was
2000s.
It was still leftover. It was leftover 90s shenanigans. We'll just say that. Anyway, so yeah, George asks, why retreat? What are we retreating from? And Dolores says, there you go with that sarcasm again, just keeping people at a safe distance. And then she says, it's like when people have aggressive piercings and facial tattoos, as this girl like passes right in front of her with a whole bunch of like ear piercings and nose and lip piercings and like a tattoo on her face, like a huge, like, I don't know what that was. It kind of,
I'm just saying tribal something.
It looked like a serpent too. But yeah. And then she's like, oh, hi, thanks, Skeeter.
Her
name's Skeeter. And she just leaves, and it's kind of like that moment. Seriously, I went guffaw. Like it was that's where I found out how that onomatopoeia came about.
Guffaw.
Yeah. So Dolores then criticizes Millie for no personal items or pictures in her cubicle like everybody else, and you know, you need to connect with your coworkers. You need to go on this retreat. I'm like, do what you want to do, George. You do not owe these people anything.
It sounds like my worst nightmare to go anywhere for any length of time with all my coworkers.
Yeah, like no, I mean, even like a company party is trying. It's way too much. You know, like, okay, fine. I got to spend a Saturday night with you people. Ugh, yeah. Thanks. No, thank you. No, we don't like it, guys.
We don't.
Just give us money. Don't throw a party. Just give us money.
Exactly.
Later at the gym, George and Daisy seem to both have reaps for two vapid women who are matching workout clothes. One of them's pink, one of them's turquoise, and yes, I do know the difference. So not in pink and whatever.
The blues.
The blues. There you go. Yes. The hues of blue.
Hues of blue.
They're hitting on their trainer, Diego, and they're like trying to talk to him in Spanish. And like, and he's like, thanks, I'm from Brazil. We speak Portuguese. And they're like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And like, I guess George and Daisy are like over it when what they're watching, and they just walk right by. And it's very obvious that they touched them.
Yeah.
It wasn't like to push them by. She like reaches out just like, to touch them.
Yeah.
And they're looking at her like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Nobody ever called on that.
Yeah. And I also feel like, too, George is now a lot more comfortable with the reaping, right? It used to be a lot of like existential, deep soul searching before she went and grabbed their soul. And this one, she's just like,
you're dying.
Over it.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Anyway, so George and Daisy are at the juice bar. I guess it's a juice bar. And they're looking at this display picture of this couple playing tennis or something, which George is considering stealing to put in her cubicle as Millie's parents, basically.
Yeah.
She goes, what do you think about them? And Daisy's like, they look Republican. And George's like, no, they don't. I'm not. She was like, oh, so are you Republicans? No, I didn't register. I nenever voted, but I'm definitely not one of them.
Yeah.
And then she goes, what were you, Daisy? And Daisy's like, I was an actress.
Yeah. Didn't vote. My history's bad. When did women get the right to vote?
I know. But that was she in the 30s or the 40s?
I think she died in the 30s.
I don't know. I think
know.
it was the 20s.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know. I'm very bad
so
at
when
history.
not
Sorry, women. I suck.
You read a book. Okay.
Never.
So the women, they're like behind them, they're like hitting on the guy, and they're like, ooh, and he's like picking up. I don't know if he's trying to show off to them or what, but he's picking up this huge barbell, and then one of the Gravelings shows up and like punches him in the nuts. Which I want to know: does he actually feel the punch, or is it all of a sudden he just hurt down there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because the Gravelings, like how? What's the line? You know?
Yeah, it seems like the Gravelings' role has changed too. They kind of used to just kind of put things in motion that would set this up, and this one they just went up and punched the guy right in the nuts.
He basically flings the barbell on them, and it like crushes them somehow. And so, yeah, that's what's happening in the background. And the women like show up, and they're like, "Oh my god," and George is like, they're like, "Can we change?" And George is like, "I'm sorry, it's casual death day."
Yeah.
And then like she realizes, oh wait, hey Daisy, tell me when I'm being sarcastic and like to distance myself from people. And Daisy's like, "You're doing it now. Say something nice."
Yeah.
And George is like, "I'm sorry you died."
I'm sorry you died.
So insincere. Later at Der Waffle House. I love saying it like that.
Der Waffle House.
Der Waffle House. George shows off the picture of the couple now framed and says, "These are Millie's parents." And Mason says they look like drinkers. And Daisy says they look like Catholics. And Roxy says they look like they wouldn't like me.
Yeah.
No cap. Right?
Yeah. Republicans who don't like Roxy.
Drinkers
Republican, Catholic.
Oh, God. Ugh. George is offended that Roxy's implying her family is racist. And Rube says it doesn't matter because they're fake, and wonders why George cares about having a fake family because it's a little late in trying to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
Which she explains that she doesn't want to fit in at work, but she doesn't want to stand out, which I totally understand.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be accepted, but I don't want to be like
part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be at arm's length. Like, sometimes, but not all the time.
Yeah. Fit in enough to be left alone.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
So Tiffany shows up and like punches everybody's new point cards for their Waffle House. And everyone has one except for George because she thinks it's a scam. And for some reason, Daisy, I don't know why, this doesn't explain. Like, she has filled hers up. She's like, "Oh, I've been eating a lot lately." And okay, she says this in front of Tiffany, and she says, "It must be my dead metabolism."
Yeah.
And Tiffany does not like blink an eye. I don't know if she just has figured it out and has just accepted it, or she just really doesn't care.
Yeah. And like part of me, when Daisy first said that, I was like, "Oh, she's pregnant." And then I was like, "No, wait, she's dead." Like, why was this such a weird line?
That is weird.
Can Reapers get pregnant? I don't know. It was weird.
That is weird. So George gets caught up on how she isn't a joiner. And I'm same thing here. Like, I don't know. I'm just not a big joiner in things.
I'm not a joiner, but give me a free waffle card for sure.
I'll do that for sure. Yeah, I'll join that.
It's not like a joining thing.
That's not like a club where you have to like have meetings and nothing.
Right.
So then we get this fun flashback of the lasses at home during Christmas, and there's Christmas carolers on the front porch, and they turn off all the lights, and they're like hiding on the floor in the living room. And they're like, "Be quiet, don't say anything, they'll go away, they'll come back later." And she's like, "What?" And George gets up, young George. She's like, "What is going on here? Screw this." And she gets up to yell at them, and they're like, "George, don't you dare." And she's like, "You're gonna be, you won't, don't stand up for you." She's like, "Yeah, right, like you're scaring me."
Yeah.
She walks up to the door, opens them. She's like, "Stop it! We don't want you. We want a silent night." And then they start singing Silent Night. She goes, "No, stop it. Nobody wants to hear this. Don't come back." Yeah. And then slams the door in their face. And their parents are like so proud of her now.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, good job, sweetie."
Good job. She's like, "Yep, if I ever have a child, this is the child I want.
Oh my God. Really, though?
I mean, to an extent.
Yeah, I'd want her to do that to other people, but she does that to them too.
Yeah.
So.
You'd have a Reggie type situation, be the same.
Mhm.
You're like, ugh. But it'd be entertaining, if anything. You'd have something to
Yeah.
say. At Happy Time, George laments how she comes from a family of loners and wonders what it would have been like to grow up in a family of joiners, and I think she imagines the tennis people being her family, and she's singing Christmas carols and she's like, God bless us, everyone.
Yeah, it was really creepy and
a little too much.
Yeah.
Suddenly, Millie gets hit in the head with a hat, I guess, thrown by Greg, the retreat facilitator. And this guy his name is Lachlan Monroe, the actor, and he was recently in Riverdale as Betty's father. But the first time I ever saw him was in an MTV movie with Mark Paul Gosselaar and Tom Everett Scott called Dead Man on Campus.
Okay. I feel like he's in a lot of things. He's like one of those guys that you probably look at his IMDb and he's got a million credits and it's like one episode,
Mhm.
one episode, one episode, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
He's in everything.
Yeah, he's made the rounds. So, okay, Dolores tells him, oh, no, not her. Don't give her one. She's not going. And he turns around and tries to convince her otherwise. And he's really condescending.
Yeah.
And a jerk about it. And she's like, I don't want to. When someone doesn't want to talk to you and they're showing you they don't want to talk to you, they're not looking at you, they're making it cut. Leave them alone. Just leave them alone.
Dudes.
I mean, I don't think it's a dude thing. Women do it to me too. And it's like, stop.
Yeah.
It's just like, pay attention. No one's going to be like you all the time. So
pick up the cues.
Read the room. So he doesn't know her at all. And it just pisses me off. And so he walks off finally. And at the last hats. At the last house, Joy stages the dining room table for just showing. But she calls Reggie down, and Reggie comes out, and she undoes a napkin. What'd you do that for? She's like, to eat? Because we're having dinner.
You just called me down for dinner?
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. I was like, what's going on? And she's like, no, I got us burgers. We're gonna have a picnic on the floor. And Reggie's like, what? And she goes, come on, honey, it'll be fun. She was like, just because we eat on the floor doesn't make it a picnic.
That's how homeless people eat.
No, I was like, damn, Reggie.
Damn, Reggie.
Don't damn. Don't be a jerk. Don't be a classist jerk. Don't do it. Don't do it, girl. So she decides, I'm going to forgo dinner. I'm not going to have dinner. I'm going up to my room. And Joey's like, don't you mess with that bed. You're sleeping in my room tonight. Don't you mess with the bed. She goes, I'm not sleeping in your room. You snore. And she was like, Reggie, don't mess with the bed. Reggie.
Yeah. Oy.
Oy. Enter Waffle House. George sits with Rube at the bar while he eats pie, and she tries to tell him that she's going on the retreat to blend in, and he just keeps going on this rant about the pie crust recipe and how it's different, how it somehow matches. I don't know. And he basically ends up chewing her out about going and says okay, fine, you can go, but I need to know where you are all the time because you are on call 24/7. And she's like, yes, sir. He goes, don't be a smart mouth. And I'm like, once again, she's done it again, but he's calling her out on it, but she's not.
Yeah.
She doesn't really take anything to it. It doesn't come to her right then. It's kind of the whole point of the episode.
Uh-huh.
And in the morning, Joy puts some cookie dough in the oven to make it smell like she's baking while Reggie answers the door for possible buyers for the house. And Joy gets all this flour, spreads it around, puts it on her. She puts it all over her face. I'm like, how much? What are you doing? How do you cook? Who cooks that like that? And I don't get it.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, when they show houses, they make the owners get the fuck out. You're not usually
they don't want you there.
No. Oh, hi, I'm just so messy from making cookies. Shut up, Mallory. It's weird.
Reggie even goes shouldn't you just actually cut them up and actually make the cookie? It's just a big
Right.
roll of dough. It's kind of like Cher in Clueless.
Yeah.
And then she burned it.
Yeah.
Oh, honey, you baked. We get a scene at the gas station on the road to this retreat with Dolores, and she gets upset with Millie because she did not buy the right chocolate bars for s'mores. But I agree with her. Hershey's all the way. If you're going to do it with Hershey's. That's just how I feel. And also there's this hunter that basically abuses his dog.
Yeah.
And then
Didn't like
shoulder
that guy.
checks George and doesn't say anything about it. Doesn't even apologize. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I was really hoping that Rube gave her a Post-it at that point. Like, okay, maybe she got his soul. I was hoping, but it didn't take it that time.
I like how Dolores was like, oh, they're so mean to the animals. And George is like, they're hunters.
Like, I mean,
not a far jump there.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. Back at the Lasses, Joy meets a pregnant couple and somehow, I don't know how she does this. Somehow she does it. She somehow implies that the husband is not the father of the child. How?
Someone's not bitter.
I mean, my God. So, they're like, Reggie, why don't you show them up to your room? She's like, do I get paid commission?
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
she's
honest question.
Yeah,
I'm doing your job.
Yeah, I mean, little kid, go show this potential buyer around the house. Get out of here.
Well, my mom fake cake cooks.
Yeah.
Rube hands out Post-its at Der Waffle House, but he has to leave fast, and he tells Mason not to fuck up because he's a fuck up.
Because he's a fuck up. Yep.
He's not wrong. And also, I kind of love that Daisy, she has to go to this biker bar. That's where her reap is. And then she's like, I can handle myself. I'm like, good for her. Because she's confident, And also good on Roxy for saying, do you need an escort? Looking out for her. Like, I think they're kind of becoming friends.
Yeah.
Women supporting women, y'all.
Yeah.
Do it. And as Mason leaves, he doesn't realize it, but his Post-it falls out of his pocket onto his shoe and across the floor. And it basically goes on this little journey and he loses it.
Because he's a fuck up. Yep.
Because he's a fuck up. And as they look at Reggie's room, the couple, Reggie tells the couple that her mom turned her sister's room into an exercise room because her sister died. And they're like, oh my God, we're so sorry to hear that. But Reggie's like, well, don't worry. She isn't really gone. And they're like, what do you mean? And she goes, sometimes she comes back. And then all of a sudden the door slams behind them. She goes, oh, that wasn't her.
Yeah. It's like perfect timing.
What the hell was the window open? I didn't even, anyway.
Who knows?
It's just weird. That wasn't her.
That wasn't her.
No, don't worry about it. Back at the retreat, George makes a scene when someone says that, like, they're having to tell each other like what animal they would be, and this guy's like, I'd be a crab, and she's like, that's not an animal, it's a crustacean. First of all, yes, it's an animal, it's just not a mammal.
Right, it's in the animal kingdom, honey.
He didn't ask what mammal you would be, he said animal. So George, you wrong, sorry. So the leader, Greg, is annoyed and reminds them that they're all there to connect with their coworkers and put the focus, he's like, let's focus back on Todd the crab. And Todd's like, well, I always feel like I'm going sideways. I don't understand that, but okay. Meanwhile, Mason is freaking out at their Waffle House trying to find the Post-it, just going to every table and, causing a scene. At the biker club, Daisy has a drink and a civil conversation with the biker gang.
Yeah, they're all very, very civilized bikers.
They're very nice. Their names are the Bald Eagles because they don't like to wear helmets because it's with their hair, and the leader, Tiny, big tall guy, obviously his name's Tiny, he thinks that a man should choose how close to death he wants to live.
You're very close right now, buddy.
Awkward.
Yeah.
So Daisy's like, it's closer than he thinks, and she just nabs his soul just as Mason shows up to ask her to help him to find his Post-it. And I love how nice it is. The biker gang like all stands up like, what? Who the hell is this guy? You better let go of that lady.
Yeah.
And she's like, he's no bother. Don't worry. It was sweet.
Yeah.
So they go outside, and then I guess the biker gang follows them. I don't know. But Tiny gets on his bike, and he ends up running through a window. And I don't know what happened to him because they're like, well, I mean, the helmet wouldn't have helped anyway.
The scene was really weird because the last you see, Tiny's walking towards the door, right? He was watching them walk outside. And then all of a sudden a motorcycle comes in. So I didn't know if that was Tiny on the bike or Tiny got hit by the bike that went through.
They didn't edit it very well.
Yeah, it was really
well because it didn't look like he was supposed to be out there, but he was.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah. I feel like there was a lot of edits in this episode that I'm like, what?
Huh? I don't get that. That makes sense. So yeah, at the retreat, George's turn comes up and she's like, I have nothing. I'm not an animal. And Dolores is really disappointed, of course.
Yeah.
Then, as Dolores starts her turn, she changes her mind. She interjects and she's like, I'm a cat. But I'm not a normal cat. I'm not a house cat. I'm a stray cat. I'm a black cat. And I wander the streets alone. I'm distant and I'm kind of mean. And I have many lives. And I'm like, she's really revealing herself. Like she's starting to realize how she is.
Yeah.
That she put herself at a distance. She then looks over and sees Rube standing off to the side watching. At the same time, Mason and Daisy break into Rube's apartment to find the list for Mason's reap so they can find the name. And so he's like, all right, let's check everything. I'm going to check the liquor cabinet and check everywhere else.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you need to stop. Don't drink, And then she's like, I'm going to break into this armoire. And she's like, I hid one. I had to pee. I had to pee in a whiskey glass. And I don't know what the hell she's talking about.
Yeah.
But so she opens up the armoire and it's filled with Post-its, like filled the brim. And I'm like, did Rube contract Crystal?
Crystal, like, I know, right?
That's what it felt like. Because I was like, is that the same closet space or thing?
Yeah.
I wonder.
Could be.
That'd be interesting. That could have been a story for the next season if they had gone that way.
Maybe so anyway, they both also a Reaper.
Yeah. Or some kind of a different level of
something.
And they just kind of were friends or something. I don't know. So they both decide to have a drink after that. And across town, a woman finds his Post-it. Back at the retreat, George wants to know why Rube is there. So, of course, he has a Post-it for her. And she's like, oh, fine. And she goes walking into the woods alone and leaves Rube with Dolores. And I can't get a read on this, but I kind of feel like Rube likes Dolores, but I'm not sure. He's never mean to her.
No.
And never sarcastic with her. He's very straightforward, but
I think he kind of likes her. I think he likes the fact that she looks after Millie when Millie's at happy time.
Yeah.
But he's also just not a warm person to anyone.
No, he's not.
So
he's got baggage.
Mm-hmm.
Back at Rube's, Mason and Daisy are now drunk and they're covered in Post-its and they're listening to the Hokey Pokey and dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And the music stops and Mason goes to find another album and he finds a Barry Manilow album and it makes them think of Rube in a completely different light. Quelle surprise. Daisy thinks Mason may know what was on his Post-it, but I'm thinking he might be too trashed to know, right? At the Lass's house, this husband, the wife and the realtor go outside and the husband stays behind and talks to Reggie about her sister and about her sister visiting and asks, are you okay, Reggie?
Yeah.
She just asks, are you okay? It was kind of a weird, are you a child psychologist? What's going on here?
Why? Are you a medium? Are you a child psychologist? It was very strange. This is another one of those things where I'm like, what is happening in this episode?
What?
Like, are we going to yeah.
And she's like, I don't think you should move here. I'm like, nah, maybe not.
Yeah.
All the while, Joy. Let me start that again. All the while, Joy is around the corner listening to this entire thing. And you're like, Bridget's going to hear it later. That's what it felt like. She's going to get torn a new one.
Or
after Mason, what now?
I don't know. Joy's so hard to read. She's either going to be pissed or she's like, oh, like she doesn't want to leave this house because like this is the only memory of our sister she has is this house basically. But anyway, yeah. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. After Mason does a funny Rube impression wearing his hat, Daisy says that they should go back to the diner, and he won't focus on the task at hand and says that what's one more unhappy soul? I don't even care anymore. I'm giving up. Right. And she knows, she was like, I think you know who's on that Post-it, Mason. Right. She's like, you always look at it when you first get it because you're curious. You want to know the person. You want to know the place. You want to know the time. You're curious. Right. And then he's like, I think, I do sometimes look at them. And then all of a sudden he hops up. He's like, and he runs out of the room. Off to find the person and the Post-it, I guess. That's what we're presenting. At the retreat, as Rube tells a ghost/love story, that's what he calls it. It's not really a ghost story.
Yeah.
He says it's a ghost story, but he says last love story. But
yeah,
it's a haunting story, I guess, in a way. George walks in the dark to her reap, and it turns out it is that hunter from before. Yay!
Oh, darn.
I know. He's asleep, and she claims his soul. And then a graveling sets his poor dog free. Good for them. And he runs by and knocks over his shotgun, which shoots him dead. And I love that they can hear it at the campsite. And the first thing we hear is they're like, what was that? And Dolores is like, double barrel, 12 gauge, full choke. Yeah. Hot damn.
I also love that it was the dog that like technically caused the guy to shoot himself.
I really wish we would have seen where he went. I wanted to see like a bad thing come and get him.
Right. Yeah.
Why didn't we see that?
Yeah, that would have been good.
Mm-hmm. Because he tried to kick him. Even as a ghost, he tried to kick him.
Dick.
So don't abuse. We don't like dog abusers or animal abusers.
No animal abusers, yeah.
When she gets back, she asks Rube, was your story scary? And he's like, I don't know. I didn't hear it. I just told it. And she's like, smart mouth. Zing. He tells her the reason people get together to tell stories in the woods is to face their fears together. And blah, 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 blah. It's kind of a quick little moment. And he leaves. And George thinks about how she's glad she opened up and made a place for herself in the circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next day, Dolores and George stop at the same gas station on the way back, where Dolores tells her, I'm also a cat, born in the year of the cat, and have all cat-like qualities. I believe it. And George is like, I will leave you by the side of the road if you go in a cat litter box too. At the last, Joy makes a breakfast in lieu of staging and tells Reggie, you can talk to me about anything, even like George, if you're still going through it. And the phone rings and there's no answer. And Joey's like, I am sick of this happening. I'm going to change our number. And Reggie's like, please don't.
Reggie knows.
She knows, man.
Yeah.
And then we see why, because of course it was George. She was calling from her Waffle House, taking her fake family out of the frame and putting her and Reggie's picture back in it. The one from the fishing trip or the lake trip. Before she walks back to the booth with her fellow Reapers. As she says, once upon a time, there was a girl named George who couldn't quite forget that there was once upon a time. End of episode.
But it just hit me. If she puts that picture on her desk, Dolores knows who George is.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to put the picture on her desk.
Okay, you think it's just for her?
Yeah, yeah, she would be like, do you know George? Oh, that's my cousin.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Oh my gosh, we had her here. Oh, I know. She told me all about you.
Yeah, that'd be real creepy.
On her first day. Oh, that's how I knew about her Big Brown Eyes thing. Because when she showed up as Millie the first time.
Yeah, but to never have said anything like, oh yeah, by the way.
Oh, I forgot to tell you.
My dead cousin worked here for a half a day.
Yeah, for half a day. That's weird. Okay, we're on to our funniest moments or lines in the episode. So I have a couple, but I'll say my first one.
Okay.
So Daisy gets asked by George if she ever went to the gym when she was alive, and Daisy says, I died in 1938. For exercise, we drank slow gin and smoked Lucky Strikes.
That was my first one, too.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we've covered all the ones I wrote down. I really liked, like you mentioned, when the couple shows up and the woman's pregnant and the guy was like, oh, ever since we got, I never know exactly how to say it. And Joy's like, say you impregnated her. Unless, of course, it's not yours.
Yeah. And you're like, how do you do that?
Joy.
Like, say you impregnated her. Like, okay, all right.
It's like
This
she
couple
can't,
should have run screaming out of that house at that point.
right? And Joy just can't keep up the facade of, hi, I'm a happy little homemaker. She's just like, I'm miserable, and it's going to come out.
She tries every single time. She starts over, and then she's like, nope, can't do it. Can't hold
Yeah.
this. Cannot do it. The other one I like is Mason's drunk impression of Rube. And he goes like, if you miss a reap, a wrath will be visited upon you. As such, you will have writhing and testicle shriveling horror. That was Rube.
Yeah, because he had his little hat on and everything. I liked it when they hear the gunshot in the woods, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, should we like check on someone, see what happens? And Rube is like, well, Greg's in charge here. Like, Greg, what should we do? And he's like, oh no, I don't think we should do anything. I'm a little afraid of trees at night. You're like, you're the wilderness like leader, dude.
I'm afraid of trees. What? Ugh. So one thing I noticed at the end of this episode, and I don't know why, I never really paid attention to like the end credits and the whole like produced by this company, and they did those little tag, things at the end. Well, the one that was John Macias Productions, the tag at the end, it's a cat, and you hear the guy go, Murray.
Oh.
So that's most likely where Murray came from.
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
that's cool.
I like that. I'm like, aw,
Murray.
And he goes, meow. Yeah, it's really cute.
It's
okay,
cute.
back to our best characters in this episode and why.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
I am actually going to give it to Daisy this episode.
Same for me.
She was there to help Mason, she got a little loosey-goosey, they had fun, and then she stuck around and cleaned up Rube's place after Mason took off. And I don't know. She's really growing on me.
She really has like her renaissance in this season, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
She's like, she's kind of an unsung hero. She was feisty and smart and chill, though, at the same time. She was responsible, but also kind of fun. And it was a good episode for her, actually. I like that.
Yeah.
The worst character in this episode, I'll say, is the hunter.
Oh,
worst character in the episode.
Yeah.
Other than him, it's Greg. But the hunter, I mean, like, I really wanted that. I didn't want just the dog to like knock over. I wanted the dog to like physically attack him, like bite him, gnaw his face off or something. That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
And then been like really nice to George.
Right, like, hey,
it's a nice dog. I just need to kill this guy.
And then Reggie has another dog because George takes the dog home.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that moment. I forgot all about that moment.
Yeah.
In the middle of the episode. And I think that's what happened.
Wait, which one?
It was in the middle of the night toward the end of the episode when everything's winding down. And she's kind of saying, and there's a thump in the middle of the night that Reggie and Joey both hear. And then it's gone. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure I know who that was. So I'm not going to. Yeah.
Okay. Is it in the next episode?
I think so.
Okay.
If I'm correct, I think that's happening. So
Okay. Never mind. I actually completely forgot about the hunter and I went with Greg because, dude, you're the wilderness leader and you're scared of trees.
Well, I had Greg at first and I was like, no, the hunter, he's worse than Greg. Like he was even, Greg was horrible, but
he is worse than Greg for sure.
Yeah. So episode ranking from 0 to 5 gravelings. How many gravelings would you give this one?
I was originally going to go with 3, but I feel like I want to drop it to like 2.75. Because like it was a decent episode, but I feel like there was a lot of weird little moments that were left, like they seemed to be really deep and meaningful, but you didn't know why. Like the whole Post-it thing with Mason, right? Like he's freaking out, and then he's like, "It doesn't matter," and this and that, and Daisy's like, "What was on that Post-it?" And like we're supposed to be made to think that it was something significant to Mason, or like I don't know. There was just like a lot, and then the dude talking to Reggie. There was a lot of like things where I'm like, did they have
moments
more
that felt like there was supposed to be a deeper meaning to it, but then there wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
like,
and
what was this dude? Yeah, what was the dude's problem? Was he like I want to know, why was he so interested? Like why was he?
Yeah.
Maybe because he was going to be a dad. He thought he could take care of a kid. I don't know.
Maybe. And then we totally missed the point of the show where Mason's lost Post-it went through all these things, ends up in the hands of the woman whose name was on the Post-it, and the only reason she was at the address where she was killed was because she found the Post-it.
I thought I wrote that down. I must have skipped it by accident.
Yeah. So it's like he's up, but it was meant to happen that way because she wouldn't have been there had she not found
the Post-it.
Yeah. So it was kind of this weird, like, deep, everything happens the way it should moment in the show,
Yeah.
So.
That one it didn't bother me so much, but it was weird. But
no, it didn't
was like,
bother
okay,
me.
they know the powers that be knew this was going to happen type of thing.
Yeah.
So
no, it didn't bother me. I just thought it was a pretty significant moment. Like, the whole episode, Mason's trying to find this thing because, he doesn't want this person to die alone or whatever. But it ends up just all kismet. Is that the right word? I don't know. Just all works out.
Yeah.
In the right
I
way.
guess you could say destiny or whatever.
Yeah. So, yeah. So 2.75.
I gave it 3.5 Gravelings.
Oh, okay.
3.5. I thought it was entertaining enough to be up there, with enough fun things and, move it along. But I don't know. That's it. I agree with your viewpoint, though. I totally agree with it. I'm adding my more entertaining value to it, and then boom, 3.5. So, okay, what did you guys think, rewatchers? What did you think about the episode at hand? Who do you think was the good character, the bad character? How many Gravelings would you give it? Tell us. Give us some comments in YouTube or on Spotify or on Blue Sky or on the TikToks. Oh my God, I said the TikToks. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, younger generations. I'm really not that old. I am, actually. The TikToks. Oh, God. Oh, it's even worse. Okay. All right. So come back next week for episode 4, Shallow End, headed by Kay. Woohoo.
That's me.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye.